Good afternoon and welcome to Tailored Talent. I'm Eric Walczykowski, the CEO of Bespoke Partners, and today I'm joined by our Chief People Officer, Julie Catalano. Julie, welcome to Tailored Talent.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Cool. Well, as we head into Q1 and 2024, which we hope to be a very exciting and up-moving year for the market, what's your personal viewpoint on the talent market for 2024?
Eric, I think it's going to be a very exciting year. I foresee a talent market that is not just dynamic, but also transformative, particularly in sectors that we work in, like software and SaaS. The pace of technology advancements coupled with the push for digital transformation has really escalated the demand for professionals who are agile, tech forward, and can adeptly navigate the evolving business terrain. So we're looking at a talent landscape where the premium is on the innovative mind. And I know you love that. You talk a lot about, enjoying a curious mind. And what we're looking at are individuals who don't just adapt, but are actively shaping our future. And then you add on the dynamics of remote and hybrid work models, and that our recruitment horizon has expanded globally. So the hunt for exceptional talent is more complex and competitive than ever. It's going to be quite a year.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think this notion of an innovative mind, someone that doesn't just settle for the status quo, is particularly heightened this year as we think about AI and where AI is taking businesses. And what we're seeing across the board, not only what we're doing at Bespoke Partners in search to disrupt the industry using AI and ML, but we're also seeing that in our companies and the need to be agile there. So I think that's a very astute prediction for sure. One of the things we talk a lot about at Bespoke Partners is integrated talent management. And of course, we eat our own cooking, as you like to say. And so what we preach to our portfolio companies that we work with is this notion of integrated talent management. Can you tell me a little bit more about what that means to you, what your specialty is, and why that's important?
So this is my favorite topic, and you and I talk about this a lot. So the best way to describe this is that integrated talent management is really about orchestrating our talent strategies from acquisition, so like the minute we bring someone through the door, and development to retention and succession planning. So it's all about making sure these things are running in harmony with our business objectives. And it's about cultivating a workforce that's deeply connected with our vision and culture. And this is a kind of synergy that's not just beneficial, but it's really essential for long-term success.
No doubt. And of course, we're as a PE-backed executive search firm, we're living that every day as we head on our mission to be the best at people around the four pillars we talk about, which is attract, develop, retain, and belong. And just appreciate you on the case to, in fact, lead there. In the last edition of the Private Equity Talent Report, you mentioned that we're at the intersection of human compassion and business insight, uniquely positioned to contribute to both people and profits. Can you give us examples of how that might play out in the daily life of an executive?
Oh gosh, we see this every day, right? I know you experience this every day. So this intersection comes to life in numerous ways. So what if we were to consider an executive who uses emotional intelligence to steer their team through a challenging project while maintaining morale and fostering resilience and engagement? Or what if we think about initiatives that prioritize work-life balance, or as I like to say, work-life integration, and acknowledging that well-being directly translates to productivity? So it's really about those little decisions that reflect a deep understanding of the human element in business. And I have found in my experience, when leaders prioritize their team's well-being, that's really the sweet spot, right? They're not just nurturing a happier workforce, they're cultivating a more dedicated, engaged, creative, ultimately a more productive and successful team. So really the approach is a thoughtful one to leadership, and this invariably leads to long-term dividends, both in human and in financial terms. So I think a lot of what you and I talk about as the CEO and the CPO is where that intersection happens.
No doubt. And that's extremely strategic. And I mean, we talk all the time about this notion of work-life integration and the importance of knowing your big rocks, not only in the work life around, hey, what are the priorities of the company this year, but most importantly in your personal life, because we've got to put those in first. And as you talk about this notion of a well-satisfied employee that is healthy, longevity there plays out. And of course, we hit our corporate objectives at the same time. Now, what's fascinating about all of that is Mike Tyson likes to say, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. Very similar to what we look at culture and markets. And no doubt last year was a tough financial market for many. So can you talk a little bit about maintaining and evolving culture in the light of ups and downs in a market?
And that's probably the most important thing we can do, right? So as we navigate through the market highs and lows, company culture really ends up being our anchor and our sail, right? And it requires that delicate balance of really adhering to our core values, those things that we hold dearly, but also being agile and knowing when to pivot and adapt to new challenges. And this really means consistently communicating our mission and values, and also being open to evolving and supporting our team's changing needs and business growth. I mean, if we think about where we were a year ago, our team needs have really changed, and we have been nimble enough to, adjust along with them. So it's really about ensuring that our core ethos is unshaken, even as we adapt and evolve, and we meet the demands of the ever-changing market landscape. Simply stated, we need to have strategic agility, and we always need to be ready to pivot.
No doubt. And that strategic agility, of course, is predicated on being in touch with not only the market, but your people and their reaction to the market, which is why you and I spend so much time talking and contemplating our people, which to us is our most important aspect of the business. The final question I have for you today, it's one of my favorites. So we predicted that 2024 was going to be the rise of the chief people officer. I think one of the things we cited in the last private equity talent report was 84% of the private equity firms themselves now have people resources focused on people issues or people matters at their portfolio companies. Can you talk to me a little bit about the importance of the people officer and some sign that a company goes through that it's time to actually make a pivot and hire that strategic people leader?
So obviously, this is one I have a great deal of passion about. And I think there are several telltale signs. So when a company is experiencing rapid growth or significant changes in team dynamics, it's time to think about a dedicated, people-focused executive. And this includes scenarios like quick scaling, diversifying your workforce needs, when challenges in employee engagement or retention emerge. Your chief people officer is going to be the one who's going to help you strategically and surgically unpack that, and really is going to be your thought partner at the table. The other thing is, additionally, during pivotal moments like mergers or strategic pivots, having someone who can adeptly manage the human side of these transitions is invaluable. And a people-focused executive really is going to ensure that as the company evolves and pivots, its most valuable asset, which, as you said, is our people, we're going to make sure our people are nurtured and engaged and aligned with our vision and direction. So that's when you know it's time.
No doubt. And one of the things I think about as a multi-time private equity CEO, the number one thing to me in value creation, when I think about the different strategies to achieving the investment thesis, the number one thing is to get the right people in place, make sure that they know where we're headed from a mission, vision, and objective standpoint, and that they then coalesce and work seamlessly together to achieve the mission. And for me, in working with you, having someone that wakes up every morning and thinks about our people is truly a strategic weapon as we go on this value creation journey. Well, Julie, I really appreciate you joining today and talking a little bit about people in 2024 and what you see. I'd love to have you back next quarter and do this again.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Fantastic. Have an amazing day.
Thank you.